Alright, the party is approached by a young woman. She says that her brother has gone missing. What do you do? I'd like to make a check to see if maybe I've heard something about this. Alright, pick a card. This just says an older woman who knows her way around the penis. Well, there you go. Or even. Quick, the tavern's on fire. What do you want to do? I run for the kitchen. I want to see if maybe there's a bucket of water. Okay, pick a card. This says Academy Award winner Meryl Streep. Then that's what you find. Or my personal favorite, the oncoming threat arrives under the cover of darkness. What do? I'd like to try to discern who he is. Pick a card. This says RoboCop. This is honestly where my life is now. Your party encounters an ancient red dragon. How do you proceed? I'd like to try to parlay with the beast, see if we can reach some kind of agreement. Pick a card. This says 3 dicks at the same time. Well, good luck. I hope you have a resistance to piercing damage. Or perhaps, my dear warlock, your patron appears before you in a flash of fire and brimstone. I'd like to discern what form he's appeared before me as. Pick a card. This is NBA superstar LeBron James. Well, there you go. Or perhaps a spicier option. Your character has dreams of an oncoming threat. Your mental health deteriorates and you go mad. What do? I'd like to see what a priest has to say about this. Pick a card. This just says therapy. The card has spoken. You certainly can. Alright, after years of searching, you finally come face to face with the parent who left you all those years ago. I want to look them in the eye and ask them who they are. Pick a card. This just says Oprah. In that moment, you discover your last name is and always has been Winfrey. Or perhaps, humble adventurer, the god of all gods appears before you and asks to grant you each one boon. I ask them to gift me what they think I need the most. Pick a card. This says the Holy Bible. Are you gonna fucking argue with the card? No. The comments have spoken. After a well-fought battle with the temple's guardian, you find its treasure, a single chest sitting in the middle of the room. I'd like to loot it. Pick a card. Okay, so this says German dungeon porn. The card has spoken. Yeah, I don't think I want that. And for the braver souls, you cast Locate Familiar, and in a single arcane flash, a creature appears before you. What is it? Pick a card. I shit you not, this says illegal immigrants. And if you're feeling a bit saucy, your rogue finds themselves outside of the king's bedroom door. I eavesdrop. What can I hear? Pick a card. This says the Rhythms of Africa. Well, you don't know what he does in his free time. Yes. I'd like to see what quests are available at the tavern. Perfect. You encounter a grizzled old man who hands you a piece of parchment and says, Arby's, we have the meat? No, his son. They have his son. I feel like I should make this a series at this point. Your party encounters a small cursed artifact. What do? I'd like to try to discern its origins, see who made it. Pick a card. This just says the Milkman. Well, akin to most members of your party, you find that its origins both begin and end with the Milkman. And if you're looking for a little more oomph, your party is faced with the dreaded Admiral Murderkill. What would you like to do? I want to check for weaknesses, anything that might help us in this battle. Pick a card. Okay, this is telling a shitty story that goes nowhere. What can I say? He's just not a fan of storytime YouTubers. And if by some metric those weren't your speed, you don the magic armor. What do? Okay, what do I need to do to attune to it? Pick a card. This says seeing my father cry. Well, there you go. But I'm a rogue. My father's dead. You keep asking for him, I'll keep making him. Your party is faced with the great mystic Aurelius Moonweaver. What do? I want to ask him where he gathers his great mystical powers from. Pick a card. Okay, so this is African children? Yeah, it's part of the new D&D expansion. It's weird that Wizards of the Coast decided to double down on the racism. Or for a take that's less politically charged. As the ritual commences, a hole is torn in the sky. What do? I look to the sacred text. What do I need to do to stop this ritual? Pick a card. This says vigorous jazz hands. Magic works in mysterious ways, I guess. You, my friend, are a goddamn genius. Sorcerer, you summon an arcane blizzard that decimates your foes. But in all the excitement, you trigger a wild magic surge. Draw a card. This says a 3-way with my wife and Shaquille O'Neal. Roll performance. I don't even have a wife. More, you say? Yo, what the fuck? Where'd it go? On the edge of death, your god appears before you in a flash of light. I ask him what this has all been for. What is my quest? Pick a card. This says fucking the weatherman on live television. Truly, God works in mysterious ways. But perhaps you're looking for something with a little more je ne sais quoi. Alright, so your party casts scrying. What are you trying to do? I look to the heart of darkness. I want to see who's truly responsible. Pick a card. This says the Boy Scouts of America. Don't act so surprised, you knew this was coming. Part 2, you say? Alright, Sorcerer. After having cleared the room with a fireball spell, you trigger an arcane surge. Draw a card. Okay, so this is just Cardi B? The card has spoken. Just for you, bud. Having sieged the Castle of Bone, your party finds themselves face to face with the big bad of this session. I ask him what all this bloodshed has been for. Pick a card. Penis envy? Truly his was a tragic tale. Or perhaps, having a rest from the many quests and villains you've defeated over the years, you find yourself in a tavern, enjoying a nice meal prepared by the local barkeep. I want to ask them what they call this fine meal. Pick a card. Lunchables? Man, something's telling me I should make more of these. Your party approaches the Dark Wizard's castle. Surrounding it on all sides appears to be a large wall that almost rises above the clouds. What do you do? I'd like to see if there's something we can do to get in. Pick a card. Catapults? Catapults. And for the inquiring gentleman, having slain the legendary King of Demise, he pulls you in close and says, bitches. It's 3 in the morning at the time I'm filming this, but let's go. Man, I remember when I used to have a regular sleep schedule. Your party finds themselves at the local Thieves Guild. Shameless plug for the nightcap. On the board are several different jobs. Okay, I'd like to pull one at random. Alright. Blank is a slippery slope that leads to blank. In order to start this quest, I need you to pull a card. Alright, well, this is braiding 3 penises into a Twizzler. I mean, if that's where it starts, I can only imagine where it ends. Alright, having defeated the penis-braiding ogre, you find yourselves victim to a terrible curse. Pull a card. Alright, well, this is a bleached asshole. It truly was a slippery slope. Potion making, you say? Standing before a boiling cauldron, you begin to create a potion. What ingredients do I need? Pick 2 cards. Alright, so this has Unfathomable Stupidity and Seppuku. I mean, admittedly, it's a little weird for a potion of hill giant strength, but those are the ingredients. Man, remember back in the day when I used to make art content? On his deathbed, the famed bard Kanye West brings you in close and whispers a single thing into your ear. What does he say? Pick a card. I mean, this just says queefing. Okay, so it's less words and more pure sound, but the sentiment is there. But hey, when the stars align, maybe you'll get this. Alright, having run your sword through the Thief Guild Master's chest, you find that he crumples into a heap on the ground. What do? I'd like to investigate the body. What can I find out about him? Pick a card. This just says multiple stab wounds. Oh, there you go. But I already know this. I'm the one who stabbed him! You dare challenge my power? You find yourself in the dungeon of the Mad Mage Uberkill. Taking one small step, you feel a click underneath your heel. Alright, I'd like to escape from the trap. Is there some way for me to do that? Pick a card. Alright, well, this says being a woman. The card has spoken. And for a little pep in your step, after escaping with the loot from the local Thieves Guild, you find yourself face to face with your client. Alright, who is it? Pick a card. Bill Nye the Science Guy? Things just haven't been the same since his show got canceled. I can't tell if this is a challenge or a threat. In a moment of intense vulnerability, the Master of the Thieves Guild goes to confide in you. I want to ask him why he does what he does. Pick a card. Dead parents? I mean, what were you really expecting there? Or maybe, your patron bestows upon you the gift of knowledge. You may ask any question, any at all. What do? I ask what the true meaning of life is. How does one remain happy in the face of such overwhelming odds? Pick a card. Masturbating? Some say self-love is the truest of all. I mean, you did say please. Your party arrives at the Wizard's College. What do? I go to the headmaster and ask what first inspired him to practice magic. Pick a card. The magic of live theater? He just really likes Heathers, okay? Though if you're looking to overachieve, on your adventures, a paladin decides to tag along. I ask him what brought him to this point. Pick a card. Poor life choices? I mean, why else would he be going to fight a dragon? Sure, why not? Welcome, adventurers. To start your quest, pull 3 cards to form your character. Alright, my name is Gandhi, and my true goal in life is to eat a hard-boiled egg out of my husband's asshole. This quest set forth by my patron, the mighty Russians. Welcome to the party. You'll be a valued asset amongst Sigmund Wonderbread and Kanye West. Just saying, you should check out this account. They make really nice dice. And I'm definitely not saying that just to try to increase my chances of winning their giveaway. Your party finds a small, ornate box within a single deck of cards. What do? I would like to immediately pull one. I guess pull a card? This just says Harry Potter erotica. The card has spoken. Wait, am I reading it or living it? The card has spoken. You, my dear friend, have piqued my interest. Welcome, everyone, to our first session. Rather than starting in a tavern, I'd like to try something a little different. From out of the darkness, you hear, "Check me out, yo. I call this dance move blank." Pick a card. This just says girls? The card has spoken. Your legs tremble with fear as you lay witness to girls. You may. Having finally ingratiated yourselves to the Thieves Guild known as the Nightcap, you have access to their underground network of legendary hobos. I mean, do they have anything else, or pick a card? $1 trillion? Well, they are a Thieves Guild. But, like, if they have that, why are they Oh, I'm sorry, is my quest written via card game filled with a little too many plot holes? No, I just mean, how about we ask your party members, Gandhi and Bill Nye the Science Guy? Oh, what a lovely chaos that would be. I strike the creature with my longsword. Alright, despite the fact that we're not rolling dice in this session, somehow you still rolled a natural 1. Pick a card. Okay, this just says the guys from Queer Eye. In your haste, somehow you stab all 5 of them. I genuinely don't know what to do with this information. I certainly can. So I finally dealt with Arby's, right? I'd like to check the job board for different postings. Certainly. You approach the board and written on a piece of paper is, "I'm going on a cleanse this week. Nothing but kale juice and blank." Is the answer carrots? No, it's the blood of orphans. Pack up your bags, you're hunting down the vegan teacher. Hey look, I can wear the comment like a censor bar. Holding aloft a relic of a bygone age, this sword of radiant power oozes magical energy. What do? I looked to the sky and asked for its name. Pick a card. Estrogen? Come on, we've done like 15 episodes. That is not the weirdest thing you've heard today. Well, then I guess I have no choice. After a well-fought battle, your close ally, Magnus Diddlebottom, dies in your arms. What do? I'd like to see his life goal to its end. Pick a card. Covering myself with Parmesan cheese and chili flakes because I am pizza. I wish you luck on your righteous quest. But I'm lactose intolerant. I wish you luck on your righteous quest. So demanding. Finally in possession of Vecna's hand, you lay waste to the world with a single terrible spell. Being marginalized. Yeah, I don't really feel that different. Yeah, not much really changes for you. But hey, if you buy something off my wish list, you might get... A grand wizard stands before you. What do? I want to know the source of his magical power. Pull a card. Being a dick to children. Let Dumbledore live his life. I love this. Investigating the scene of the crime, you find, written in invisible ink, a single message. It says the following. Putting things where they go, teaching a robot to love, worshipping that pussy. Do with it what you will. Is that a haiku? What? No, I got this. I respond. Lumberjack fantasies, firing a rifle into the air while balls deep in a squealing hog. Saying that aloud, a secret entrance appears before you. Why do I play with you people? Well, you did ask nicely. Finally drinking the mysterious potion, you're granted all the power of 1,000,000 dead babies. So, like, what does that equate to in terms of numbers? Nothing. Okay, and who am I fighting? Pull a card. Men discussing their feelings in an emotionally healthy way. Once they stop crying, you're rolling initiative. I mean, I'm listening, but I don't know if I'm convinced. Looting the fallen cart, you find a fetus. Yeah, I don't want that. Well, I mean, you could always look again. Yeah, I do that. Alright, instead you find a sad hand job. Better? You know, I really don't know. Oh dear God. Alright, I use my bonus action to rage. I want to just stampede past them. Alright, pick a card. Men, make of that as you will. Hey, having defeated the legendary Goblin King, he looks to you and asks, "What do I call you, fearsome warrior?" Dick Fingers. Well met, Dick Fingers. I will carry on your name through stories and generations. You know, you really don't have to. I mean, you find yourself in the Dark Wizard's castle. What do you do? I'd like to make a stealth check. Okay, despite the fact that we're not rolling dice in this game, you somehow get a natural 20. Pick a card. This just says having sex for the first time. Somehow, you manage to stealth so well that you can actually physically hide in the memory of you first having sex. Huh. Neat. Well, while you figure out the technicalities of that, I'll be burning all my D&D books. I'll see you guys later. Challenge accepted. Fear me, for I am the great and mighty German Chancellor Angela Merkel. And my goal is to finally drown the kids in the bathtub. Of course, this is only because the Amish. Oh, absolutely. This is like my favorite thing. Welcome back, everyone. Seeing as your characters died last session due to that freak lobster attack, we'll be rolling up new characters. So if you could start us off. Sure. My name is Lactation, and I'm a pangender octopus who roams the cosmos in search of love. Of course, this is my ultimate goal, to eventually seek out and find a much younger woman. Do people just not play elves anymore? Oh, absolutely. Looting the dragon's hoard, you find a +1 broadsword, a couple potions, and what appears to be a single amulet. Well, what does the amulet do? Pull a card. This just says side boob. The card has spoken. Or perhaps something a little more traditional. Finally sieging the dungeon, a single chest sits before you. What do? I looted. Is there any magic items? Of course. You find a single arcane shield that, when activated, allows you all the powers of vehicular manslaughter. Oh, I'm definitely keeping this. Okay, so I saved this comment for a video, but I don't remember if it was for the nightcap or Cards Against Humanity. So we're gonna go with Cards Against Humanity. With a broken sword in hand, you approach the local blacksmith. What do? I'd like to ask what he has in stock. Pick a card. The true meaning of Christmas. So you know how people tell you to kill them with kindness? Do that. I mean, I've come this far. The Forge Master gives you a sword of radiant light, enchanted with the properties of vomiting seafood and bleeding anally. Wait, am I doing that or my enemy? Yes. But if you join my Discord server, having defeated the wimpy stable boy, you move up a bracket in the tournament and find yourself face to face with God. Can I just fight the stable boy again, or roll initiative? Okay, so we are calling this a series then. Finally turning in the bounty for the barbarian King Dave, you're rewarded with a ball of earwax, semen, and toenail clippings. I fucking hate this town. Of course, there's also the option of cuddling. Big spoon or little spoon? Big spoon. I'll just take the toenail clippings. Only if you watch this one 6 times. Picking up the shard of Düsseldorf, you find yourself victim to a potent curse. Completely unwarranted confidence. I don't really feel that different. Well, you are a rogue. But I mean, hey, if you're feeling saucy. On his deathbed, the king of the city issues a single proclamation. My balls on your face. Is this a promise or a threat? Yes. Happy Valentine's Day, nerds. Your party finds themselves under the spell of a succubus. What do? Well, what do they want from us? Pick a card. This just says The Bachelorette season finale. They turn to you and say, Jeremy should have gotten together with Stephanie. Do we really have to be here for this? But hey, 'tis the season. Falling victim to the effects of a love spell, you immediately find yourself in desperate love with elderly Japanese men. Is there some way for me to get out of this unscathed? Well, you could always try wielding my collection of Japanese sex toys. Is there, like, another way? Well, there's also fellowship in Christ. So, Japanese sex toys, right? What's this? 2 Valentine's Day episodes? On his deathbed, the famed bard Kanye West pulls you in close and says, "I found it. I've found the legendary and mythic female orgasm. I thought it was lost to time years ago. Of course, I've only ever found menstrual rage." Do dungeons just not have loot anymore? Or... But all great things come in twos. Unless you're poly. Or single. Alright, you attempt to seduce the dragon. What do? I offer him the sweet, sweet promise of soft, kissy missionary sex. The dragon responds, "Unfortunately, I'm only interested in waiting till marriage." Well, I retort, balls. I mean, after a well-fought battle, the dust settles, and in the center of the battlefield appears a single person laying on their side. I rush to them. It turns out to be your ally, Kanye West. I tell him that it's gonna be alright. Help is on the way. He waves them off. He knows what's coming next, that his fate is sealed, but he pulls you in close and whispers gently into your ear, "All the dudes I fucked." Is he bragging, or... I mean, only if you're sure you really want more of these. Amidst a battlefield of ash and bone, you find yourself met with the dreaded Admiral Killmurder. He wears a single arcane device that allows him to channel the very essence of magic itself. Well, what is it? Draw a card. Okay, so this just says a really cool hat. Fear him, for he wields the helicopter hat of Hades. But I mean, hey, different strokes for different folks. Little Susie has you scouring the city for her missing cat. After searching for about an hour or so, you find them tucked behind some bushes. Okay, what are they doing? Pick a card. Okay, this is giving birth to the Antichrist. The skies darken. Roll initiative. Oh dear God. On the edge of death, your ally reaches out to you with gnarled hands and begs you for a single bit of inspiration to survive this fight. I turn to him and say, "Flightless birds." Admittedly, your ally doesn't know what to do with that, but it was inspiring to a degree. Video introduction. Having defeated the Skeleton King, you find yourself victim to a terrible curse. My sex life. It seems a cruel and terrible fate has befallen us this day. Yeah. Wait, what the fuck did you just say? I certainly can. By some metric, this is the 3rd time in a row you've rolled a natural 1, despite the fact that we're not using dice, so pull a card. This just says a little boy who won't shut the fuck up about dinosaurs. Maybe now you'll think about the consequences of your actions. I would like to immediately draw my broadsword. Homework I should be doing? I hardly know ye. You stand at the precipice of demise, a single gilded chest sitting in front of you. What do? I open it to find what legendary weapon awaits me. Pull a card. Okay, this just says a bop it. And with it comes all the wisdom of a 3rd grader. But hey, I'm not really doing much, so... You're gifted an ancient potion of murky, brackish liquid. What do? I'd like to identify it in some way. Can I ask the alchemist what it's called? Pull a card. Gogurt. Your pickup soccer games will never be the same. Humorous non sequitur. Having finally burned down the city, you pursue your true threat. Some punk kid who stole my turkey sandwich. I will have my revenge, but how do I find him? Pull a card. Women's suffrage. The card has spoken, do with it what you will. Well, I think it'd look a little something like this. Drifting off to sleep for the night, you find yourself met with a vision. What do I see? Pull some cards. This says huge biceps, solving problems with violence, and the KKK. The cards have spoken. I have been dreaming of this day for so long. I know. Well, obviously there's only one answer. Bill Nye, how could you? How could you do this to us? I thought we were friends. It was simple, really. All this horror, this death. My, you naive fool, it's all been for dick pics. I've known all this time, but I didn't want to believe it. Well, in that case... Approaching the barkeep, he hands you a rolled-up scroll that says, "After 8 years in the White House, how is Obama finally letting loose? I don't know, Painting? Baseball? Necromancy. The answer was necromancy. This is a weird town. If the tickling sensation persists for over 4 hours, I would suggest consulting a physician. You find yourself in the crypt of shattered dreams. What do you do first? I'd like to make a perception check. Alright, pull a card. This just says old people smell. Well, I mean, it is a crypt. Or perhaps you prefer this. Investigating around, you end up triggering a trap. Pull a card. This says powerful thighs. The card has spoken. I always knew it would end this way. So you have wished it, so it shall be. Welcome back to the session, everyone. We're actually going to be introducing a new person today, so if you'd like to start us off. Yeah, that'd be great. My name is the Pope, and my goal is to finally achieve my father's lifelong dream of jerking off into a pool of children's tears. Of course, this was set about by his incredibly tragic backstory of daddy issues. Welcome aboard, though admittedly your character is very similar to about 90% of rogues that I've seen. You know, if the education system didn't fail me, I'd probably have a proper response to that. As the surrounding town lay decimated, a man in gilded armor appears before you and says, "Look upon my works and tremble, for I am giving 110%. Well, good for him. Or perhaps the just as entertaining but alternative option of, "Look upon my works and tremble, for I am pulling out." Good for him. After hours of hard work and determination, your artificer crafts a single small arcane device. Well, what is it? Pull a card. Preteens? Preteens. But hey, sometimes the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Artificer, you unleash all of your arcane potential, crafting a weapon of ultimate destruction. Well, what is it? Pull a card. Smallpox blankets? I genuinely don't have a comment for that. Yeah, but is it what you need? Little Susie comes up to you and asks for help with her bullying problem. What do? I tell her that the only real solution to bullies is murder. Give me that! I tell her that the only real solution is obviously poorly timed Holocaust jokes. You know what? The murder thing sounds good. I mean, we could have just tried calling his parents, but, I mean, you probably killed them. How much you got? So yet again, despite the fact we're not using dice in this game, you rolled a natural 1 on your attack. Pick a card. Kissing grandma on the forehead and turning off her life support? By some metric, you fail so horribly, you travel 3 continents, find your missing grandma, and then pull her life support. Grandma, no! Oh, come on, you didn't even know you had a grandma until this point. That doesn't make it not sad. I mean, I could make you wait longer. Approaching a tired-looking adventurer, he turns to you and says, "Life for American Indians was forever changed when the white man introduced them to blank. Disease, colonization, a general lack of hygiene." No, actually, it was chainsaws for hands. Wait, what? Roll initiative. Fuck. So having slain the previous party, you find their bag of holding. Inside are the Trail of Tears, a Sea of Troubles, and soup that is too hot. Whoa, what kind of soup is it? Sad soup, dear adventurer. Sad soup. Hey, that's actually how I got my first 10K. You ride against the tides of bone in a gilded chariot, wielding in one hand a sword of horse meat and a suit of armor made of Viagra. You know, this is not how I thought my day would be going. Well, what exactly were you expecting, Bill? Especially when your patron is Danny DeVito. I need to find a new group.